Spacey Sims, and we're back with more Men of Yoshiwara, Ohgiya, and we're in Takagawa's route, and it's been fun so far. We're in the middle of Chapter 3, or whoops, I minimized my screen, sorry. Beginning-ish, I don't know, we've gotten one choice in, so I say about the middle, whatever. We're gonna continue and see what happens, so. I'm home. Welcome back, Spacey. My mother greeted me with a joyful smile when I returned. And now you can finally call yourself a grown woman. We'll be having red bean rice to celebrate tonight, and go and rest until dinner. Really? But I can help. Now that I knew how to help around the shop, I felt like I should be. It was still good for me to learn from experience. Just rest for today. Taking care of your body is important. Fine, all right. I reluctantly submitted to my mother's order and withdrew into my room. Though I was supposed to rest, too many thoughts were running amok in my head. There was no way I would be getting any sleep. Instead, I called for Musashi, who brought me a cup of tea. What's been bothering you, my lady? Ever since I saw you at the gate, you've been looking outright sad. Even you can tell? What do you mean by that? Well, I told him about meeting Takao on the main road. And also, how I still didn't feel right about the whole pleasure district idea. Musashi, you're from the mainland, so you should get it. Why do we have to go to the pleasure district? Why can't I just marry a man from the mainland? All that happened last night flashed back to me as a dull pain rippled through me. It was no longer pure, but I'd rather have a real husband than a phony one from Yoshiwara. This is a really interesting route, because all the other ones she's like, oh, okay, and she kind of falls from it. This one she's like, why? Why do I have to do this bullshit? It's kind of interesting. I almost think we should have done this one first now, but it doesn't matter, the order. But I'm just saying, like, but then I guess maybe on the other routes when she was just like, okay, totally fine with it. Like, not necessarily, but it was like, oh, okay, I'm going to pick these guys, and she fell in love with a gay guy. Like, right away, like, it would have probably seemed weird if we did this one first. Like, well, first she didn't care, and now she cared. Like, well, first she cared and didn't want to be here, and now she's, like, totally in love with him, but I do like how her personality is a little bit different in every route. Like, in Ageha's route, it was like insta-love. Like, she saw him and it was like, oh, they're making puppy and it's soulmate, and, and it's just like, it's kind of cute how they just had an instant connection. And then Utsusemi was like, well, he was nice to me, so maybe I should just pick him because I don't really know what to do, and he's kind of around, and I kind of feel bad because it's like, I guess I'll pick him because he's just been there the whole time, but, you know... But, like, it was, like, a more of, like, I feel like I guess he's nice and I can trust him kind of a thing, you know, considering her position. And now at Takagawa, it's like, well, I mean, I don't want to do this. This is bullshit, but, like, whatever. And then she's going to fall madly in love with him. Like, this is kind of great. I don't know. Anyway. At least then I'd be able to feel true love. You will eventually. My lady... I understand where you're coming from. However, on this island, you're asking the impossible. But why? You would be seen as an oddball, and your mother would never approve. That's so funny that there's not a lot of men born on this island. So again, instead of, why don't we just try to make it, you know, lucrative for more men to come to the island? Get the people in, you know? Then, like, oh, no, let's sell men into sex slavery. Sounds like a great idea. I'm just saying, like, when you're, like, a tourist city and tourism is running low, you don't kidnap tourists and put them in a fucking zoo. You're like, tourist zoo, woo! You're literally like, let's do something to incentivize people coming and visiting. You don't literally kidnap people and lock them in a cage. Then you're like, well, now you're here. Enjoy the city. Like... It's not the best analogy, but you know what I'm saying? Like, wait, what? Like, not enough men here. Let's imprison them. You could just, like, import some. Sure, there's plenty of men you'd be like, so, and plus, there's enough men in Yoshiwara to, like, marry to most of the women. It's not like there's only those 5 courtesans in Ohgiya. They seem to all have I mean... And it's not like there's Kikuya and Ohgiya and that's it. There's obviously other houses. So it seems to me there's not actually a shortage of men in this island. Because there's a bunch of them in Ohgiya. There's a bunch of them in Kikuya. Just Yoshiwara is all just... So I'm just saying, how big is this motherfucking island? Because it doesn't take her very long to get there. So it doesn't seem very big. I mean, it's just... I'm just saying. Starting to see all the holes in this. I know that's not the point of the game, but like, and I don't know why I keep doing this in every single part of this. I'm like, but the logic's not there. Shut up and enjoy things, Spacey. Okay. But still, but you get my point, right? Like, I'm pretty sure there'd be enough. Sure, maybe it'd be like, well, every man has to have like 2, maybe 3 wives. I don't think they'd be complaining. Now it's like, well, you've got 50 women coming to you. And also, there obviously is not a shortage of men that extent, because it's not like every single time we go in these routes, we are going on an almost constantly every night basis, and we can always see the man of our choice? Seriously? You're telling me he's got nobody else? He's the highest ranking courtesan, but that bitch ain't, like, I don't have to schedule months in advance for his time? Just saying. Kind of call him a little bit of bullshit. Think these women are crazy. And that's why they're like, you can't bring a man from the mainland. We love going to the whorehouses. But why? There seems to be enough men that we could let them free and everyone... No! It's not how it works. Okay. Just saying. Bitches be crazy. Anyway. It would tarnish the prestigious and traditional Somei family name. It would tarnish your name for you to have a real fucking marriage. You need to just go pregnant at the whorehouse. The fuck, girl. Gross. Man, this is funny. This game is funny. But you're a man. You're with our family. I'm regarded as a bodyguard and nothing else. That's not true. I've heard other girls around my age talking about Musashi. At least one of them is quite fond of him. He just wasn't aware of it, even though it was right in front of his eyes. He's not allowed to be aware of it. My lady, were you not satisfied with the courtesan Takagawa? Wow. I can't read today. I can never read. Why? Anyway. Of course not. He's a wonderful courtesan. Wonderful as a courtesan, but you still don't like him. That's 2 different things. I'm against loving anyone from the pleasure district. It's not real. Nothing good will ever come from it. She's like so level-headed but also bitter in this route. I kind of enjoy it. As my voice withered into hopelessness, Musashi furrowed his brows. But then, you should try to enjoy it. And toy with his feelings and emotions. I love Musashi. I'm really sad we don't have a secret Musashi route where we just run away with him, but I love how he's like, just make him fall in love with you. You know what? You should fuck with him a little. Musashi, you son of a bitch. Gold star. You said something like that before, but it's impossible for me. You could do it if you tried. Going to Yoshiwara might be more enjoyable if you can manipulate his heart. Making him fall in love with you is the right way to approach this. Perhaps he was right. If it were more like a game, I could see myself enjoying it at least a small bit more. Besides, I wouldn't feel right doing it to anyone but the men of Yoshiwara. And then this is kind of cold, though. These poor... I know why she's thinking that. Like, they toy with women and make them... Yeah, I mean, it's kind of their job. You're paying them for that. It's kind of like going to that Dick's restaurant. Like, the restaurant where you're basically paying the waiter to insult you and be rude to you. Like, that's the whole part of the experience. It's like going there and being pissed off and being like, how dare they insult me? That's what you paid for. Like, you're paying for them to basically woo you and manipulate you. Are they going above and beyond? Probably. But again, they're kind of manipulating you into giving them money so that they can buy their own freedom eventually. But you know that going in. And like, yeah, that doesn't make it feel any better when you're like, I actually really fell for him and he was full of shit. Damn it. But you knew going in, he is going to manipulate me and make me fall in love with him, and it's going to be full of shit. I'm not going to fall for that, and then you're going to fall for it. You know it. But, like, I mean, so it's kind of like, it's almost douchey of her to be like, I don't mind fucking with them, because they're just, like, I get why she's saying it. Again, it's okay for me to do it to them, because they're doing it to other people. Yeah. But it also just feels bad, because it's not like they chose this life. And you're like, screw you, trying to get me into an MLM scheme. Fuck you. What the hell? You know, it's like they're forced into this, and it's like being pissed at them for trying to buy their freedom because they're sex like, I don't feel bad fucking with them because they're just trash. Is that what you're trying to, like, it's almost sad. It's like, I get it, but it's like borderline almost insulting to these poor men. But again, I get it. Like, it's just, this game is fun. It's so, like, just, it makes me think too much about the logistics of this poor fucking island, and like, like, I'm on her side, like, yeah, go fuck with him a little, and then it's like, but poor Takagawa. Like, it's not like he wants to be an asshole and toy with people's emotions. Like, just kind of has to do it. Like, it's like, oh, I don't like it. I don't like me being like, yeah, go do it, but I feel bad for him, but no, go do it, but I enjoy it, but no, Anyway. Ugh. Oh, also, I love that. I wouldn't feel right doing it to anyone else but the men of Yoshiwara. Well, who else are you going to do it to, Musashi? Literally, only man on the island. Several days later, that's not in Yoshiwara, I mean. While the sun was still high in the sky, I passed through the large gates toward Ohgiya. My mother and Musashi had suggested I gift a kimono to Takagawa. In my arms, I carried the fabric from which it would be made. If you deliver it yourself, it's an unbeatable combination. I wasn't sure exactly what he had meant by that. Still, I carried the cloth through the entrance of Ohgiya while letting out a sigh. But this was almost a little bit less like, I'm gonna make him fall for me, and like, hi, I kind of like you and I got you this gift. This feels a borderline like that. Like, hi, I bought you a present. Like me. I mean, I guess it's just what they do, but it just has a, kind of like him, like, here, I got you this chapstick case so that you like me, right? You like me now, right? Look, it's engraved with your name, Like, you're buying each other. I mean, we're buying his love, so. But like, it seems odd. I don't know. Anyway, still, I carried the cloth through the entrance of Ohgiya while letting out a sigh. I was a little more eager to enter his room than I had imagined. A gift? Thank you. Takagawa was busy getting ready for business that night. He was sitting casually while wearing some comfortable clothes. His apprentice must not have been feeling well as they were missing. Instead, Ohgiya was there helping him get ready. Wow, a kimono from the Somei family. It must be your lucky day. I don't remember if that's his voice. It's good enough, though. Yeah. While Ohgiya seemed utterly thrilled upon hearing the news, Takagawa just didn't seem to react to it at all. Maybe getting gifts happened to him all the time. I picked out a fabric that contrasts well with your face. This one, the rouge color will look good on you, I think. I laid out the cloth in front of him, expecting him to agree. However, what a fine piece of cloth. He simply smiled, looking no more excited than before. He's about as fucking miserable as we are. I love this! This is literally like a forced arranged marriage where you're like, I'm trying, and he's like, I'm not, and then he's like, I'm trying, and you're like, fuck you. Man, we're just always on the wrong page. We're in the wrong page, on the wrong book, on the wrong bookshelf, in the wrong fucking library, in the wrong city, on the wrong continent, on the wrong fucking sides of the earth, on the wrong fucking planet. Not even. In the wrong fucking side of the universe. That's how fucking far off we are. It's gonna take a couple more chapters to get on the right page. In the right book. On the right bookshelf. On the right, you know. Do you not like it? I love it. You can never have enough kimonos. Do you mind if I take your measurements for fitting it? Sure. Takagawa stood up, so I walked behind him. My hands trembled ever so slightly when I saw his skin peeking out from his clothes. What's wrong? Nothing. Could you loosen your collar so I can measure the length? Takagawa? Just measure it as is. Strange. Something about how he said it made me reluctant to ask why. How exciting! Someday I hope I get to wear a kimono that beautiful too. Ohgiya exclaimed jealously from off to the side. Which is funny, because when it's like, you get to wear one on your deflowering day, and then he's like, no! And he has a fucking freak out. Or he's just trying to be supportive for Takagawa. I'm not sure, but like, I still couldn't understand Takagawa's reaction at all. Perhaps it was Ohgiya who was reacting strangely? I'm really happy to receive a kimono from you. My movement slowed as I worried, and he turned around to face me. I can't wait for it to be made. I look forward to the night I get to wear it for you. Takagawa... But I can't wait for it to finish. It's too long away. Why not come and play with me tonight? He turned away, his long eyelashes flickering. I stopped measuring when his hands reached out for mine. Spacey. His thumbs rubbed across my hands seductively. Just as fast as he grabbed me, he pulled his hands away. Now his strong and sturdy gaze captured my eyes. I'll be waiting for you. My heart began to pound. His words willed their way into my heart. Before I knew it, I was nodding at him. When night came around, Yoshiwara lit up with the beautiful flickering light of lanterns. I see you made it on your own tonight. Unlike earlier, he was dressed to impress in a beguiling outfit. Beguiling outfit! Takagawa quietly slipped into the room. He walked right in front of me before sitting down. I'm not moaning. Cradling my head, his face dove in to steal a kiss off my lips. It happened so suddenly I reacted by shoving him away. But his body wouldn't budge an inch. He pressed himself closer to me, pausing only for a second to catch his breath. My heart pounded like a drum. Holding me tight and in the middle of a kiss, he suddenly stood up. Our lips broke apart. What are you doing? He was cringing in some sort of pain. I thought he might even cry for a moment. But then he chuckled quietly. I was wondering, like, can you move your collar? No, just do it. I was like, does he have, like, wounds or, like, scars or something? Like, we wouldn't have seen them because open kimono on top didn't get fully naked. But now I'm wondering, did he get injured? Did he get beaten for something? Why? Anyway. But then he chuckled quietly. Interesting. Be thankful. And that was my heart talking. What? I was lifted off the ground and into his arms. He carried me away. I was put down on top of the bed. Stop. Before I could even say it, he blocked my mouth with a kiss. His handsome face loomed near and pecked my lips once more. I don't understand you. Neither do I. Huh? The pleasure district and men aren't even your thing. And yet you're driving me crazy and I don't like it. I was driving him crazy? Really? Me? That's right! I want to go with that's right because that's such a cocky answer. Like, really? Me? I feel like really is better than me. Like, me? Or like, really? Because you could say it as like, really? Like you're shocked. Or really as in bullshit, dude. But that's right. That's such a cocky bitch answer and I want that to be the right answer. Fuck yeah, it's the right answer. Oh, that is the best. That's right. I want to charm you. What for? Well, I might even forgive you if you say you like me. I think not. Takagawa scoffed, sounding annoyed. I feel like this face right here is his like, we just hurt him. You're like, I love this because I love how she's fucking with him, but I'm also like, oh, poor being so mean to the poor thing. Like, he kind of deserves it because he's a cocky bastard. Like, he's the cocky jackass. But, I feel like he's a cocky jackass because he's seriously insecure. He's either insecure because he doesn't think people actually really like him, or he's like the cocky bastard, like, yeah, make women fall for me or whatever, but I can never fall for them, and he's just got this, like, insecurity of, like, why? Why can I never like anybody? Like, what the fuck is wrong with me? You know what I mean? Because everybody else is always like, even Takao, like, oh, I'd fall in love with you in an instant. And he's like, why can't I fall in love with people? Like, what's wrong with me that, like, you know what I mean? Because that's abnormal from every other person around him. So you've got to feel like that would feel weird. You'd be like, what's wrong with me? That's just who you are. And I'm sure there's other people like that. But that would feel, you would think something was wrong with you. So I can understand him being insecure about that or whatever. So, and that's why he's extra cocky. And then we're being extra mean to him. And he's like, no, she's mean to me. So it's like, it's great. Because he kind of deserves it, but at the same time he doesn't. So you're like, you deserve it, but you really don't. And I feel bad. I love it, but I hate it. I don't hate it at all. I love it, but I feel bad. Like, good. It's good. I like it. This is going to get so much more dramatic, though. Like all the rest of them, I can't even imagine, so. Anyway. You're just naturally the kind of woman that drives men mad. Huh? Takagawa rolled off from on top of me and lied down on his side. Right after spending the night, we ran into Takao on the street. And then you went home and ignored all my letters. Only to show up one day with a gift. He sent me letters? And you're acting like it's no big deal. I never had given it any thought. My emotions were already scrambled enough as it is. I still hadn't made up my mind about any of this. Never had I intended to charm or play with him at all. Rather, it felt like I was the one being toyed with all the time. And just when I think another man will steal you away, you just happen to show up with a gift. How crazy is that? But another man can't steal me. It's literally like illegal in this place. I'd probably get my head chopped off. And then there's that time you played Go with Asagiri. When you're in front of another man, you become an entirely different person. Huh? And despite all that, you still came to visit when I invited you tonight. Why didn't you respond to a single one of my letters? I didn't know we had any. Literally, me. I'm sure she knew. It was true. I was so worried about what to write. Days passed without sending a reply. Are you that distracted by Takao? His insecurity is adorable. He turned his head away in disgust. Maybe I am. He said you've never loved a woman before. What does he know that I don't? It's a lie. He seemed pretty confident for it to be a lie. Of course he did. Being confident is part of our job. And yet, you can see the utter bullshit. Being confident is part of our job. And yet, deep down inside, squish, 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 you're smushy with insecurity. Lies usually stem from the truth. You're relentless today. Sorry. Am I? When I was younger, there were a lot of rumors about me. People made up lies with no semblance of truth in them. Why would they do that? When you're an apprentice heading for the best, it's easy for people to hate you. And they insult and make lies. They insult and make lies on purpose. You see, it was hard to imagine a dark side behind the scenes of their glamorous world. Seriously, Spacey? Come on. I totally see that. Being shady, backstabbing each other to try to get the bet. Like, oh yeah, you know him. Oh yeah, he, whatever. Oh, he making up lies to try to get you to come to me. Like, 100% see that shit. Plus, you're right. Sometimes lies are close to the truth. Takagawa? His eyes focused off into the distance, as if looking into the past. When I glanced at him curiously, he shook his head. It's nothing. So are you planning to leave me for Takao? Huh? You're already thinking about other guys than me. He reached out for me with his hands, wearing a painful expression in his eyes. I grasped them with my own and squeezed tight. Can I even? Any way you phrase it, like, can I even, though? Or like, can I? Any way you say that, it comes out totally wrong. Like, can I even? Like, I mean, I can. I'm stuck with you. Or like, can I? Because that sounds like a great idea. Like, oh my god, that is the best. That is the best fucking... Oh my god. I already chose you. You can't change anyone's heart but your own. It's only a matter of money if you want to throw me away. At first I thought it terrible to say something like that. But then I realized it was money that bought me this time with him. Money had bought me this. I just hadn't fully grasped it yet. I bought him with money. What an empty feeling for both sides. And that would be fine with you? Yeah, right. Like I'd let Takao take a girl like you away from me. A bit of his pride revived and showed up in his smile. How peculiar. I acted like it. I actually liked it when he acted proud. I liked seeing his face full of confidence. Spacey, tell me your true feelings. Even though you won't tell me? I slapped my palm over my mouth. No need. It's fine. He pulled my hand away slowly. When I let him take it, he placed a kiss on the back of my hand. Didn't I just tell you something? The men of Yoshiwara are full of pride and confidence. If everyone knew what was going on inside our hearts, that would invite a few problems. For just a second, his usual cockiness appeared on his face. He wore so many masks, it was really incredible. It really was incredible. Is that why I feel so relaxed? Takagawa, I want to love someone. I want to live happily ever after like a girl in a storybook. Does that make you laugh? His mask fell apart. In its place was something real. A smile so real it caught me off guard. It was so unlike a courtesan that it completely surprised me. Like I'd laugh at that. He squeezed me tight in his arms. I swung back and forth, nestled in his sweet, manly scent. If you want love so bad, fall in love with me. But I've never loved a woman. Oh, because he's in love with one of the men here. This poor thing. This must be so difficult. Just kidding. I would just be like, oh my god, that would be traumatizing for this poor guy. I'll prove otherwise. I'll show you just how much I can love. That night, I fell asleep in his arms. I didn't come wishing for anything more. Since I didn't come for pleasure, Takagawa felt a tinge of guilt at not doing his job. However, all I wanted was to be held. My mind was too busy for anything else. The next day, I woke up before dawn in the darkness of night. I stared at his sleeping face dimly beside me. He truly was beautiful. The temptation to touch his lovely face was too great. When I poked him, his eyebrows twitched. Like, you want to stroke his face, not poke. What? I'm sorry, was that your eye? Like, fuck Spacey. My finger recoiled just before he rolled over in bed, revealing his bare shoulder. The moment I went to cover it back up. What are you doing? He clutched my wrist tightly and glared at me. Just fixing your collar. He pulled his clothes back on as if hiding something. Did you see it? Huh? See what? Nothing. He wrapped his arms around me without another word. He ran his fingers gently through my hair. It's too early to leave or even to wake, so I'll just have to hold you until it's time. Inside his arms, I felt warm and snug. Yet suspicions arose quickly in my mind. What exactly was he hiding? The girl outside the room that one time had been saying things about him. Even Takao seemed to know things I didn't. The fact Takagawa also seemed to be hiding something made me even more doubtful. With that on my mind, I found it almost impossible to sleep. Interesting. A lap for a pillow. Take care, my lady. Thanks. Musashi bowed with a smile as I left him behind at the large gates. Recently, he accompanied me only to Yoshiwara's entrance. While that showed progress, there had been no change in my emotions. I decided it was past time to cast aside my fear and become stronger. Like many times before, I waited for Takagawa alone in his room. But this time was different. It wasn't because something had changed inside of me. It wasn't because I had grown past the desire to live inside a dream. Just that I wanted to know his heart. I wanted to understand him. That's what had brought me here today. Miss Spacey, may I have a moment? Certainly. It wasn't Takagawa, but the manager who appeared first. I wonder if there might have been some sort of problem. Truth is, I've been thinking about Takagawa having a procession lately. All I would need is your word to make it happen. Are you suggesting a procession for me? Yes, precisely. I thought back to the one I saw. I remembered how joyful I thought it would be to be part of it. Why not? Really, there was no reason for me to refuse. I agreed to go through with it. The manager left, and after a while, Takagawa arrived. I heard the news, Spacey, about the procession. Perhaps due to this, he seemed to be a little perkier than usual. Just watching him made even me feel excited. I'm not sure why someone like me was chosen for it, but... What are you talking about? You're the best fit by far. Takagawa suddenly scooped me up in his arms and embraced me tight. Was he really that happy? The sudden sight of this new side of him threw me off balance. You won't mind if I take charge of the costumes, right? All on your own? You're kidding. Do you even know how much that would cost? I have an idea. Just let me handle it. Are you sure about this? Yes. I was still cradled in his arms, and he aimed his gaze straight into my eyes. It was like staring into the depths of a deep, dark ocean. My mouth watered. I love it! Oh, deep, dark ocean, mouth watering. I can remember exactly what Takao's procession was like. I'm going to make sure mine blows his out of the water. Takagawa chuckled. Hold on. Oh yeah? Who put you in charge? It's not worth doing unless I can make it the best. I shot back, feeling embarrassed but no less adamant about the situation. This time he chuckled even louder. You're sure competitive for a woman. It's one of my less charming traits. I happen to like that in my women. Are you calling me a charmless woman? A beautiful one, no doubt. Stop teasing me. I'm not. At least, not about your beauty. Really? Yeah. You're prettier than any other woman I've seen before. Perhaps your personality could use some work. But as much as you're clumsy and rotten, your face makes up for it. I'm only rotten. Well, yeah, I mean, I'm being rotten, but I couldn't tell if he was insulting or complimenting me. So I... Hug him? Say nothing, ask him. Not say nothing. Ask him or hug him? Hug him might shock him. But that might also... I'm not sure. It's either hug him or ask him. It is hug him. Ask him was actually the worst choice. Really thought say nothing would be worse. Okay, hug him. Tucked inside of his warm embrace, I slid my hands around his back. And then, from time to time, you do something sweet like this. You really are adorable. While heat poured off my cheeks, I nuzzled my face against his chest. So will you let me pick up the costumes? I lifted my head bashfully, and then he surprised me with a kiss on the forehead. I don't have a choice. I guess if you want to dress me up that badly. This man, he always knew how to rile my emotions. In exchange, you're not allowed to think about Takao. Huh? From now on, keep your thoughts on me. Got it? All right. Good. We have a deal. It'll be a procession fit for the greatest courtesan and finest family on the island. Whoa now, don't get carried away. Why not put it in simpler terms? You just want to dress up your favorite courtesan ever. Anyways, those cute blushing cheeks of yours are all I want to see. I rushed to cover my warm cheeks with my hands. He grabbed my wrist before I could and landed a kiss on my lips. His smell assaulted my senses. Again, doesn't sound pleasant, but I'm sure it's supposed to be. It dizzied my thoughts and weakened my defenses. His tongue slithered inside my mouth and swam around. Such an awkward mental picture. As I ran out of breath, he pulled away just as my mind went blank. But you'll have to work on that kiss if you want to be my woman. How can he say that? Because you're both fucking with each other, but I think you're both falling for each other, but still fucking with each other. This time, my cheeks burned like they were on fire. Like, Musashi, we need to practice kissing. Get this outside my... Why? Why does this keep happening to me? Poor Musashi. Our talk continued for several hours. Mostly we spent the time discussing the procession. Wanting to get a head start on the preparations, I left Yoshiwara quite early. The word was out. Takagawa was having a procession for me. I'd made sure he was the best dressed courtesan the island had ever seen. To prepare, I sent for lots of help. A procession was a luxury event. It called for fancy hair ornaments of all shapes and sizes. It wouldn't be complete without elegant kimonos of the finest quality. My mind swam with gold and silver threads and phoenix patterns for the design. This better not count as a fucking CG, that's all I have to say. Because I'm pretty sure in Chapter 4 it showed a CG after a choice. I think, hold on. Yeah, this better not be it. That's cheaping out. Anyway, Takagawa would look remarkable in such a regal outfit. What's wrong, Spacey? You look troubled. I searched through the fabric we had in store to give me ideas and inspiration. My mother noticed me and called out. Oh, Mother, I just finished updating the ledger a few minutes ago. Thank you. So what are you doing here? I just got carried away thinking about what kimono to use for Takagawa. Sorry, I'll get back to work. Takagawa, Something majestic would suit him best, I think. Like, how would Mom know who he is? She, like, popping in, like, just to, like, oogle the man. Like, she's like, I just hear oogling the man candy. I already have my kids, so I don't need to be here, but I just like looking out. Like, or did she like go? I mean, I'm assuming she went to a game and was like, let me see your finest. Let me see him and him and him. Yes, I'll pick these out for my daughter to choose between. Like, the fuck? She like went to the man buffet and like picked out some appetizers for us. It's just... Oh. My mother stared off into the distance. It was like she could see Takagawa standing there. What's up, buddy? I squinted and did the same. What do you think about a phoenix pattern? That sounds lovely. That mythical bird actually suits him well. Really? I'd worried about the choice, but my mother's approval gave me the reassurance I needed. Using the spare time I had while working, I continued planning the procession. Then, one day... Ooh. You useless brat! I don't want to see your face ever again! I'm sorry, Mom. I really am. After finishing work, I went out with Musashi for a walk around town. We were met with the terrible sight of a woman brutally hitting her child. What's going on? I believe that's Lady Hirara. Hirara? Hirara? Hirara. That's... Rara is too hard to say in any language. That's impossible. I recognize her as the lady who runs the library I sometimes frequented. Stop it! It hurts! I'm sorry! The woman continued her assault while the child curled up defensively in a ball. I moved into action. What do you think you're doing? Enough! Stop this at once! When Musashi and I yelled at her, she shivered and her hand froze in place. As if fleeing, she ran into the library, leaving her child behind. So we decided to bring the child home with us and take care of him for the time being. I was wondering, I was like, when it said the child, I'm like, is she beating her son? Oh God, she's going to turn around and sell this fucking kid. That's like, they have such resentment for their male children, and yet they frequent brothels where they're like spending all this money and realizing that at some point that's going to be your child. Doing that, like, do you not get the irony and like how fucked up this is? It's amazing. It's amazing. At least until his tears stopped. Back at home, the child vigorously stuffed snacks into his mouth with delight. At least he's happy now. But the traces of tears on his cheeks racked my heart. I'm going to guarantee you that, like, maybe Takagawa was beaten as a child. I feel like this has to tie into him and how he's, don't look at my back. Like, you know what I mean? Like, but why? He was only about 10 years old. How could anyone so severely punish such a young child and not be ashamed? It happens more often than you think. Huh? Stepping away from the child, Musashi spoke as if it pained him. When a boy is born, he'll assuredly be sent to the pleasure district. For that reason, their mothers often treat them with disdain. It's kind of sad. Hold on. That's kind of sad because it's like... I mean, I get it. We're flipping the roles because usually it's female children. We don't want a fucking female child and they treat them like shit. But like, you're gonna sell that child to the pleasure district. So in a way, I get it. You're kind of pissed. You're like, fuck, I had a stupid boy and we want a girl because that's better. But you're like, at the same time, you should be like, yay, a boy. See, boys are born on this island. We don't have to send them all away. But no, I guess we're not going to do that. But then you have a boy and you're like, oh, sweet, I could sell him for a fuck ton of money. Like, do you think he'd be happier? Because you're going to sell him. That's what's happening. You're not just going to send him away to the pleasure district. You're going to sell him. You think they'd be happier about having boys? Like, woohoo, I'm going to get money for this one. Like, I mean, as fucked up as that sounds, like, they don't just go to the pleasure district for fun. Like, oh, yeah, my kids go there and now they have to work off a debt. So, like, and I'm sure part of the debt is, like, the training them and the class and the fancy things and all that stuff, too, that adds on. But I'm sure they don't just go there starting with zero debt. Maybe. Again, this is why I want a behind the scenes. I want a day in the life of Iroha. I want to see, like, Iroha, like, planning and being like, okay, so here's our upgrade packages, and like, oh, we got a new kid in and how that works. I just want to know how all the logistics work of this. Like, I want to be behind the scenes doing the day-to-day bookkeeping. I just, like, the management, the, like, you know, paper pushing shit. That's what I want. I want to see that. Like, what you would probably consider boring, right? I just want to know. Anyway, I can't believe it. And they must feel resentful that their child will be taken away from them. Okay, so now you're making it sound like, but on so many others, like, oh, you have to pay off your mom's debt. So, like, though this is only conjecture, the child, having finished his snacks, licked his fingers and looked our way. My mother hates me, he admitted casually. My older brother got sent away too. I think she wants me out of her life as soon as possible. But you're still her child. I don't... She must be pissed that she's had boys. But at the same time, that's your cortison's fault, and you can't switch now, so you fucked. Terrible grief cut my thoughts short, and the child looked at me curiously. Mom says I'll be getting my tattoo soon. As soon as I get one, it's off to the pleasure district for me. Thanks for the snacks. I've never had anything that tasty before. His innocent smile was bittersweet. Adorable as it was, it pained my heart to see. Somehow it reminded me of Takagawa. I mean, I guess that's kind of because you're thinking, oh my god, you'd want to love your child and you'd be sad when they get taken away. Kind of like Ohgiya's mom seemed like she was sad about it. You know what I mean? Like writing him letters and like... And this woman's like, just get the fuck out of my... But I get at the same time, you'd be more... Not... I don't think it'd be resentful to your child. But it's more like the... You're going to get taken away from me, so why am I going to pour my heart and soul out and love you like I should when you're going to get ripped away from me and that's going to suck? So could you imagine you had that, you were like, no, I'm going to try not, and your child gets taken away from you and you're like, what the fuck? And then you have another boy and you know it's going to happen again. You'd be like, nope, not getting close to you. That's going to suck. I mean, that's going to be... I could probably easily do it because I don't like kids and I'm heartless. But like someone who actually wanted children and loved children, that's got to fucking suck to have that child ripped away from you. And then you get pregnant again and it's another boy and you know it's going to happen again. And like to be able to like shut yourself off and like be that abusive and angry to your kid. Somewhere in the back of your mind, that's got to hurt you. Knowing that you're hurting them, but you're hurting them to prevent yourself from hurting more. God, that's a fucked up cycle of like just fucked upness. Man, this game gets heavy. Anyway. Particularly, I would hit some deep, dark secrets behind a beaming grin. Sometime later, shortly before dark, the mother came to pick up her child. Though I admittedly wasn't pleased to hand him over, there was little else I could do. I just felt worried sick about him. I wanted to help the boy from the library, even though I knew I couldn't. Birthing a boy on this island was a tragic and pitiful misfortune. Again, that's how most girls are treated in a lot of places, or always were. It's kind of... A newfound hatred for the curse of the island brewed inside me. Wait, is she going to run away with Takagawa? I really want one of these situations to be her running away. And other Spacey running into us and like us giving her that's what I want. I need that because like when we were in Ohgiya's route, I was like, are we gonna do this? Are we gonna run away with him? Is that gonna be where it ties in? I need that. That would just be so fucking great, especially because we gave her money and a kimono, so we were obviously like well off. And I think it'd just be amazing if they were like, well, let's do a second Men of Yoshiwara game. Let's make it be the person that the other character. I still want that. And if we go through this whole game and that never happens, I'm going to cry. And Ohgiya would have been a perfect route for that. You know, because we couldn't have him and they were making it difficult. But then again, now in this route, also a good candidate because she's like, I hate this and this is bullshit and this island sucks. Sounds like a good time to pack your shit and run away. Because, like, I think it's going to be... Well, like, Takao, we got to buy easily in Kikuya, right? Like, sure, we bought him, great. Like, because we just had to pay off his debts. But do you really think they'd let him go that easily? Come on. Meanwhile, I tried my best to focus on preparing for the procession. When I came to a stopping point, I decided to head over to visit Takagawa. Which one of these hairpins do you like the best? The jeweler came with me and spread out a mass of hairpins before us. They were all, of course, ones I had approved on my own already. Let's see. Takagawa picked up a few to inspect. What do you think? I want you to pick what you think looks best on me. I did already. That's what all of these are. This many. Indeed. She struggled for so long to choose only the best for you. Really? I wanted to steer away from anything too flashy. You're much more suited to wearing things of exceptional quality. Yeah? His hand swooped over the hairpins to pick out a few more to inspect. Like, there's a part of you, when you're reading this, is like, I want to be Takagawa, and I want someone to fawn over me and be like, here's all these beautiful things for you. You're so gorgeous. I need you to dress you, love you. Ah! I want someone to fawn over me like that. I want to be Takagawa and have somebody like, buying all pretty things for me. You want like a sugar daddy, right? Like the sexual, like, roles reversed, obviously. But then at the same time, you're like, I kind of want a Takagawa where you're like, here's all the beautiful things. I want to make you look pretty, sweetie, and like have a sugar baby. Like, but I ain't got the money for that shit. But like, you're like, I kind of want to be in her position and just be buying stuff and be like, I own your ass. Like, so part of that seems kind of nice. But then the reverse also seems kind of nice. Like, oh, someone's buying me pretty things and dressing me up and I feel fabulous. But like in reality, both would probably suck. But anyway, I glanced over as he looked at them. A brief and subtle pain clutched at my heart. Seeing his face reminded me of the boy from before. Takagawa and I later met with a hairdresser for the procession. After that, we discussed which sash pattern to use, among other things. Jeez, all this work has worn me out, he said in a silly voice. And then... Oh! Good! This is our CG! Adorable. Look, he's actually really kind of adorable. Pushing me over, he rested his head on top of my legs. I froze with shock as I became his very own lap pillow. I could get used to this. Uh-huh. Oh, she's more like, it feels so nice. Just relax, would you? I was embarrassed that he noticed my muscles were all tense. Who wouldn't be when all of a sudden you became someone's pillow? I'm whipped today. Never knew preparing for a procession was such a huge undertaking. You don't enjoy it? It's all right. Next time, I'd like to give you a gift instead. Was he being serious? I was about to ask if he was, but he smirked at me first. Something told me it was better not to. So, what do you like? What do I like? Yeah, everyone has at least a few things they like. I thought about it. I don't know. Try to guess! I don't think I don't know is right. Either try to guess or what about you. Sometimes you can go right with asking, well, what about you? You know, because you're showing interest in them. And other times it's like, yeah, no, you're showing interest in them. And then it's like, that's a bad answer for them. So I don't really know now. This threw me off. So I would lean toward more like, what about you? Like, you know what I mean? Like, but it's probably going to be wrong. Actually, that one was right this time. Ugh. I think it was Utsusemi where you were like, what about you? Or you did that and he was like, no, god damn it, I want to know about you. And you're like, all right, that was wrong, clearly. What about you? What do you like? Turning the tables on me, eh? I feared I might have angered him by asking that, though he surprised me with his own sly grin. It sounds like we have a lot to learn about each other. Yeah. I nodded lightly in agreement. His warm hand moved and rested atop mine. Gently, he stroked his fingers across my skin. I could kind of guess what the young you would have liked, though. Huh? Didn't you walk around with a flowery pouch stuffed to the brim with a rainbow of candy? Huh, and that and a bunch of origami paper. How did Takagawa know about my past? You always sat prim and proper next to your mother. Except when she wasn't looking. You sneaked me some candy or made me a paper crane. Did we know him before? Oh my god, is he the neighbor, like, is he the library lady's first son? I mean, I knew the library lady beating her kid was going to tie back into him somehow, but I didn't think it was going to be his mom. But I'm wondering. I was so young back then, I could have sworn you had a magic pouch. I thought a lot about you. Then, and now. He squinted as if remembering the past. Oh my god, he's the Hayabusa route. Like in Kikuya, Hayabusa was the the childhood friend. And is this what this is going to turn into? Like when when Takao was like, he's never even fallen in love, and we were like, oh, you've never even loved him. And he's like, that's not true. Because what he was telling the truth. It's not true. I loved you once when we were young, but you don't remember me. And that's why he's so bitter and sad and hurt about us being mean to him. Because we don't remember him, but he remembers. Oh my god! I think I love this route. It's great. He's so many things. Like, at first he's the cocky asshole, but then you're like, oh my god, are you insecure? But then it's like, well, no, you're like a childhood friend route. It's like, he's all these characters stuffed into one. How'd they do it? He's so many tropes. I can't even count anymore. You're like, damn. How many tropes are you? All of them. You just need to whip out your glasses now. We're gonna, like, seriously, like, we got bingo up in here. Jeez. It's amazing. His expression distanced itself from its usual pompous look. Now he looked gloomy, which hurt my heart. Had I met him sometime in the past? The question remained unasked as the silence continued. But so obviously, he was probably a few years older than her, I'm guessing. Had to have been. But the fact that he remembers her and she doesn't remember him, that makes me, again, think that he was in love with her. Like, oh, I had such a crush, and I always remembered you as I grew up. And when Takao's like, you've never fallen in love with anyone, he's like, that's not true. I loved that girl when I was a child, my childhood love. And then all of a sudden she shows up and picks you. But did our mother know? Well, their mother's like, you should pick Takagawa. I used to be the kid next door. I followed you around. It's cute. I think we should set it up. It's great. Like, where's our mom trying to do this? Damn. Man. The question remained unasked as the silence continued. But then, his hand shivered as he came back to reality. Takagawa? It's just a memory from long ago. You probably don't even remember it anymore. He made excuses for me, as if it wasn't my fault. I'm sorry. No, it's fine if you don't remember. Actually, it's probably better that way. And then you're like, but are you full of shit? There's that. You're like, oh, that's so cute. Wait, are you bullshitting me? Because if you're bullshitting me, I'm going to be really mad. How come? Because you picked me for who I am now. If you knew who I used to be, it might not have been that easy. So we really did meet, didn't we? I think I'd remember someone like you. There were only a handful of people as beautiful as him. Even as a child, I can't imagine forgetting someone like that. Maybe he was an ugly duckling. But it seems I had. I'm a captive of the pleasure district now. And that's who I am. But you don't have to remember. Man, this just rips at your heartstrings. Like, I'm a captive of the pleasure district. You don't have to remember me. Jesus. Would you, like, tug at my heart anymore? He pulled his head off my legs and sat up. The warmth faded from my skin and left me feeling cold and lonely. Let's just think of the present. The only thing that matters is us right now. He pressed both hands to my cheeks as if his firm voice sunk into me. Held in place, I couldn't look anywhere save for his eyes. Takagawa was waiting for my response. I slowly nodded. I'm looking forward to our procession. His radiant smile stole my breath. I felt lost, wandering through my mind for my own memories. As quickly as he revealed the past, he hid it away again. Would a day come when I remembered as well? This explains so much, though, unless he's bullshitting us, but it's a perfect cover, because it explains so much about why are you so mean to me? Why are you looking at him? And it's not, the insecurity was literally because he remembered us and was like, oh, you picked me because you remember me. And we're like, we have no clue who he is. And he's like, why are you being mean to me? I've been in love with you since I was like 10 or whatever. You know what I mean? He's like, what? Why are oh, our poor little buttercup. We've hurt him so bad. I love it. Oh, I love it. We're an asshole. I kind of like it when we get to be an asshole instead of like, the innocent little sugar cookie. Oh my God, everything is great and wonderful. And oh no, I can't do anything wrong. Like, I love it. I like being a slight asshole. Like, damn. So now we're like, oh, all the times I was mean to him, it's just worse. It's great. Later that night, when I went home, I asked my mother about going to Yoshiwara together when I was young. Of course, she denied that ever happened. So how could Takagawa and I have ever met? Where are those memories of his come from? Do you not? Is she dumb? Like, at some point, he was a child before he got sold off there. She's not the smartest. Chapter 5, Yoshiwara. The day of the procession quickly drew near. With much of the preparation now out of the way, my days were much less busy. As such, I found the time to go visit Takagawa around noon. Takagawa, look this way. Asagiri, can you tighten this right here? Sure thing. Today, Asagiri was helping me dress Takagawa in his costume. As it weighed well over a dozen pounds, I needed all the help I could get. Jesus! Well, I mean, that's like 12 pounds, but like, that's like still a lot. It seems like a lot. I guess I don't weigh my clothes often. I just want to pile on my scale and be like, what weighs like 12 pounds, and then put that on. It seems like a lot. Oh, well, you know what it is? It's the shoes, because you have to deduct 16 pounds for your shoes, according to Romeo and Michelle. If you've never seen Romeo and Michelle's high school reunion, you're missing the fuck out. That movie is great, and my favorite is literally when they're at the gym. I spent all this time, I spent like an hour on the treadmill, and I gained like a pound. Did you deduct 16 pounds for your shoes? Because they're getting on this. Their fucking workout costumes are the greatest, but they're giant platform shoes that they're fucking wearing. Like, so every single time I get on the scale, I'm like, well, I have to deduct 16 pounds for my shoes, even if I'm not wearing shoes. My jeans weigh at least 14 pounds, even though I'm also not wearing them. Like, we all had to take frequent breaks, including Takagawa himself. During one such time, it's marvelous. I'm impressed. Oh, I fucking love you. You sick son of a bitch. Why are you here taunting me? Look at you. Sexy motherfucker. I love him so much. Look, Takagawa's route is great, but you don't throw Gakuto in here without me fawning, okay? With the sliding door wide open, Gakuto peeked his head in to see what was going on. It wasn't long until the others joined in. Whoa, so beautiful. Ohgiya said with sparkling eyes while he hung onto the door. If you're coming in to make fun of me, spare me. It's your big show. I just had to come and check it out. And can't you even take a compliment? It's not going to get you anything, mind you. But I know what I'm going to get tonight. Takagawa! Ugh, can't you be more gentle? I shouted his name while squeezing his sash tight. He cringed and squealed, making everyone there roar with laughter. I know what I'm getting tonight. Ow! He squeaks as we choke him to death. A pitter-patter of footsteps came dancing down the hall. Is Takagawa really trying it on? Utsusemi rushed into the room, looking absolutely delighted. Shut up, Utsusemi. Sorry. It's not fair if only you guys get to see. I want to see it too. What a rowdy crowd. It really had become noisy rather quickly. Having come to Ohgiya in the daytime so often lately, I had noticed something. It was so easy to forget they were courtesans. They were all such fun people and got along so well. More footsteps came from the hall, adding to the clamor. What's all the racket about? Go on, get lost, you guys. Sorry about that, Miss Spacey. It's quite all right. It's nice to see everyone so lively. Well, aren't you a pretty thing, Takagawa? Yeah. Actually, a photographer came in asking if they could take pictures. Pictures? They're more popular than paintings now. Jeez, I wish I could get in a picture someday. That's what they're here for. Miss Spacey, You wouldn't mind if some pictures of Takagawa wearing that outfit, would you? That's fine with me. I glanced over at Takagawa. That's so funny. You wouldn't mind if we took pictures of him, right? It's like, I own him, but I don't actually own him. There's other women that date. Am I the only woman that's dating? I don't understand. Again, I need a day in the life of Iroha. I need to know how this fucking shit works. I need the behind this. I need that person who's in the back office, like, making all this shit happen. That's what I want. He shrugged and smiled back at me. I don't mind. Suddenly, the photographer burst gleefully into the room. They quickly began to set up the camera. I'm a bit scared of cameras, actually. What? Why is that? You know, they say they steal your soul and stuff. You moron. Like, that's even possible. I like how smart Kakuto is. And also sassy as fuck. He's always like, shut up. You're an idiot. I love him. You'd think he'd be like, be quiet, calm, please, be calm. That is absurd. But he's like, you're an idiot. The fuck is wrong with you? Shut up and get the fuck out. Morons. And I just love him. But still, despite all the others being dismissed, everyone still stuck around. Once Takagawa's outfit was complete, the photo shoot began promptly. Of course, the manager kept asking how much the pictures would sell for. He was always on top of the financial side of the business. Could you imagine that people are like buying pictures of your courtesan and then later he's your husband for realsies and you're like, that's weird. But then I was like laughing to myself because I was thinking of Swallowtail Butler Cafe. I so want to go when I go to Japan. Like, I'm not even kidding. I'm definitely fucking dealing with that. Hello, I want to be treated like a fucking princess by super cute butlers. It's fucking amazing. Who wouldn't do that? It's crazy. But you could go across the street and go and they have like a gift shop and you can get like photo cards and stuff. And they do. They have like ones for different seasons and shit. So you're like, I can literally go and buy photos of my butler. Like, or any of the ones there. Like, that's fucking hilarious. Like, we don't do fun shit like that in the States. Man, Japan is so much more fun. I mean, it's not like there's a butler cafe on like every corner, but I'm just saying the fact that that shit exists and you go, it's fucking great. Like, I just can't wait. It's amazing. Anyway. After that, Takagawa and I got permission from the manager to leave Ohgiya. Can you just imagine? But this is exactly like Disney ride. We went on Splash Mountain and I got a picture at the end. I went and I rode Takagawa and now I got a picture. If you didn't think this could get any more inappropriate, you're welcome and I'm sorry. Anyway. Takagawa stretched out, fully appreciating the refreshing, sunny sky. Feels great not having to hear those noisy brats for once. Finally, freedom from that hellhole. Don't say that. It's mean. Are you kidding me? Once we start getting ready in the afternoon, we don't get a second of our own time. Can't I at least enjoy getting away from it all? So that was why he seemed so happy to go outside. I could tell since he was much more talkative than usual. Meanwhile, the warm sun shone down and soothed my face. So you don't really have free time? I wish we did. He snorted sarcastically with a smirk. So, what to do? His merry expression and excited eyes shone vividly like an adolescent boy's. Just then, he turned that glorious smile on me. His adult charm spilled through, catching me off guard. I know. We should celebrate today with a photograph. Huh? Let's take a rickshaw to the photographer's. Making up his mind all on his own, he called out for a carriage. The way he went into action so quickly always surprised me. Go on, hop up. Yeah! He lifted me off the ground and tossed me on top of the rickshaw. I felt very tall from up there. Takagawa smiled up at me before climbing up on his own. Just like that, we were on our way to the photographer in the rickshaw. In a seat next to me, he slid his hand around my back. He reached for my fingers and wrapped his hand in mine. We're not in your room anymore. Look, Spacey, that pastry shop is really good. And there's usually a line to get in by now. He continued casually as if ignoring my concern. Being held like this outside of his room was new for me. It made me anxious, but his smile quickly dispelled such feelings. We'll stop by on the way back. You like pastries, don't you? Do you? I like everything tasty. What about plain food? I only eat the good stuff. He was spoiled rotten. Then again, that sounded like exactly the kind of answer he would give. And there's the jeweler. I used to go there all the time. And the guy that works there is a retired courtesan. Funny guy. You don't stop by anymore? Not since becoming a courtesan. And the manager keeps us on lockdown. If we need something, we send for it. Oh. That's sad, is what I would say. Like, that's boring, or that's neat. That's neat is like, that's neat. I'm trying to make you feel better, but I feel like that's sad is, yes, that's sad is definitely the right answer. That's sad, though, if you think about it. It is. We're trapped all the time, like a bird shut in a cage. Listen, my bird is sitting in his cage happily by his goddamn... No, actually, he's sitting on top of it, but he goes in his cage on his fucking own, and the door's open, and he just sits there. Sometimes birds are happy in their cages, okay? It's a safe space. I guess not if you're trapped in there all the time. Could you just... That's so depressing. It's like, I just sit in my cage while the people are out. I mean, that's the way my parakeet was. But she didn't want to come out, okay? The door would be open. She's like, fuck that shit. I'm staying in here. I don't trust you. She didn't know how to bird. Like, a bitter smile unfolded across his lips. I know we're over, but we gotta finish this. We talked a lot about Yoshiwara after that. It helped pass the time until we arrived at the photographer's. Okay. I'm going to stop here. It's a little weird because it's kind of in the middle, but like still the photo thing. But like, anyway, so yeah, God, his rat is getting good. I like, it keeps like turning corners, like just, yeah. I feel like this whole entire one so far, like Ohgiya was like my least favorite, but he was still an enjoyable route. Like everyone's been great so far. I have really, really through the roof high expectations of Asagiri and Gakuto now. Like this one is just... Look, Kikuya was great. This one is better. Like I just feel like this one's better. I don't know. But anyway, I will see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.